Have you ever walked into a meeting, looked around the room, and thought, what am I doing here? Sooner or later, they all realize I've no idea what I'm doing. Yes, me too. And we're not alone. Thousands of managers experience these thoughts daily, and there is a name attached to that knowing feeling: imposter syndrome. I've been a manager for 20 years now and experienced it countless times. Recently, I was asked to sit on a panel for MBA candidates at the university in the UK and was absolutely gobsmacked by the overwhelming feedback that most of them felt like imposters. These were incredibly talented senior leaders of the organizations. There were CEOs, managing directors, many with other degrees, and yet they all felt like frauds, waiting to be discovered. So today I want to tell you, fellow managers, about why do many of us experience this and, more importantly, how we can get past it. Now let's start with the basics, the definition. The Oxford English Dictionary lists it as the persistent inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own efforts or skills. Now, in simple terms, it's the internal experience of believing that you are not as competent as you think you are. It's that little voice in your head saying, you got lucky, you don't belong here. It was first defined in the 70s, and in contradiction to its name, it's not a psychological disorder, but a pattern. It shows more often in highly achieving people, professional athletes, managers, founders, executives. What life shows is that the more successful you are, the more likely you are to feel it. Why? Because the stakes are getting higher, because decisions are more significant, because the pressure to perform and have all the answers becomes overwhelming. There are two major misconceptions about the syndrome. The first one is that only new managers are prone to it. Nothing further from the truth. Actually, I remember that when I was first given responsibility for managing a large team, I was naive enough to believe my decisions were right and that the correct person was in charge. The doubt started appearing as I was advancing, and my understanding of the implications of the decisions deepened. Now, the second misunderstanding is that the syndrome is a sign of weakness. It is not. It shows that you care. You want to do things right. You want to be the best version of yourself in your eyes and others. It's an increased self awareness of your limitations. So let's talk about how to overcome it. First things first, know that you are not alone. What the MBA panel showed me is that even very senior managers responsible for millions in the annual budget still say things like, I'm just trying to look like I know what I'm doing. The syndrome thrives on three areas: fear, doubt, and comparisons. So we need to counter it with facts. Your fears that you don't deserve your position are the easiest to overcome. You're in that position because someone decided that you should be. You did deserve it. It's that simple. And if you are a founder of a company and no one chose you, remember, on brave start businesses, you earned your position. So you've proven that point already. The second is doubt. I don't know whether I have all the answers. I'm not sure whether I can pull this off. When doubt comes, remember all the hard decisions of the past, your wins, your promotions, your awards. It's always possible that you failed because nothing in life is guaranteed. But how is that different from any other situation that you faced? Besides, being a leader is not about knowing everything. It is as much about asking the right question, creating space for others to shine, as well as owning your decisions. But the most powerful enemy is the comparison. Someone with more experience in the area may pick you up on a mistake, as others may see you're not as good as your predecessor. Let me ask you this. If a peer, someone of your own position, came to you and said, I don't think I deserve this role, would you say, yeah, you're probably right? Of course not. You'd remind them of their experience, their impact, their growth. Start giving yourself the same grace. We are our own harshest critics, and it's time to change it. It works on irrational fears. It will work against you if you let it. So here's what I want you to remember: you can be successful and still feel like an imposter sometimes. You can be uncertain and still be a great leader. You can be vulnerable and still be strong. What you're feeling isn't fraudulence, it's growth. Sounds easier said than done, I know, but if you don't practice that mantra, the danger is real. Thanks for watching. If this resonated, drop a comment. Tell me your experience with imposter syndrome. Let's keep the conversation going. And before we go, if you're managing people, remember, if you feel this way, they probably do too. So be the kind of leader who brings it into the light.